Hey everybody, this is Poké Collab, where we collect, train, and battle together. My name is Oren. I am from Block and Pixel, and I am joined here by my good friend Ivan. Ivan, where are you from?
I'm from Chard. Welcome.
Excellent. And we're glad to have you with us. Today is March 14th, Friday. It is late in the afternoon, early evening for us here in Cleveland, Ohio, and we're
Mhm.
glad you're joining us. Today we have a slightly uh, minimal show, but we're going to have some deep discussions on a couple things. So here's the outline for today's episode. First, we're going to just do like an intro section. We've got a few things just to get out of the way. Then we're going to talk about TCG Pocket on multiple devices. I recently got a new phone, so I learned a bit more about how that functions and just wanted to share what I learned about that because I used to think that you couldn't have your Pokemon TCG Pocket account on two devices, but that's false. So we'll get into that. Also, a big news item that we'll just discuss, and that's the fact that Pokemon Go was sold and what that has in store for the Pokemon community. And then also, if you watched our episode, I should have looked at what number it was, but it was about 5 or 6 months ago. The Pokemon Company announced the winners of the 2024 illustration contest and what cards would be physically printed. Well, those cards are here, and I was able to get them, and I just thought I'd show them to you all. And then finally, Ivan's going to talk to us more about PokeTrade. We've talked about it just a little bit in a couple episodes, but Ivan and his wife have been using it more, so he's going to give us a little bit more insight on PokeTrade. So let's get started with our intro. First of all, I just wanted to thank our audience. Our last episode, as of recording this right now, has 415 views, and we've never had a video succeed on YouTube like our last one. And we don't know what we did differently that got you guys to watch us. So if you're watching this episode and like us talking about Pokemon, we would love for you to tell us what we're doing right, what you like hearing about from us. If there's things that you are, if there's particular things that you want us to talk about, please let us know in the comments below. And as far as we're concerned, we're here to stay, and we love the format of our show. It's probably unusual to find two dudes that have literally been friends since like infancy, talking about Pokemon that like were around for the first gen release, and really just talk like we're hanging out. So if you like this content, please let us know what you think below and what you want to hear from us about. Um, Ivan, there's something I just want to talk about real quick in this intro section, and it has to do with what we're trying to change when it comes to the Pokemon community. Are you on any of the Pokemon subreddits?
No.
Okay. Well, I can't recommend them. I mean, I get to see some cool stuff, but I also see a lot of like the toxic parts of the Pokemon fandom and community. And I just wanted to talk about one thing in particular. Um, you're familiar with like the official Pokemon Company trading card vending machines, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think there's any of them here up in Cleveland.
Not that I've seen. I don't think there's any around in
Okay. I
in
know there's some
Cleveland.
in Cincinnati. Like,
Okay.
I forget what site. There's a website from the official Pokemon company where you can look up like where their vending machines are. And I know there's some in Cincinnati. I've never gone down there to look yet, but maybe next time I'm down there, I'll check. But here's something that I've been hearing going on, and I'm gonna just like I'll start out and then I'll tell you why I'm talking about this. So there's a scam that I just want everybody to know about right now. There are scalpers going to these vending machines, like they know, when they're getting restocked. They're going to these vending machines, buying everything out from the vending machine. Once they've bought everything out, they'll then turn around and tell the people in line, "Hey, I just bought everything, but if you want to get something, I'll sell you something." And then they'll sell something for MSRP to these people behind that typically are just, um, unknowing parents or, fans that just don't know the ins and outs of everything. And these scalpers are also scammers. And obviously, this isn't going to be all of them, but there's been numerous cases where that scalper then proceeds to sell people online fakes that they bought on AliExpress. The people in line thought that the scalper was selling them what he just got out of the vending machine, but he's actually brought with him fakes from AliExpress that he's then selling to them. So he's making money on the fakes and then he's walking away with all the real product.
Oh my god.
So the reason I'm bringing this up is because on Reddit, the vast majority of commenters were basically like shunning the person who fell for the scam. And we're like, you should have known better. Like, you should have realized that that was a fake. Like, instead of like consoling the person that was trying to just get cards for their daughter, like, hey, man, that sucks. Like, we're really sorry for you. Instead of doing that, they were like, you should have known better. It's your own fault for not realizing that it was a fake. And like, it's just sad to see. And that the reason I'm talking about this is because Poké Collab is not that. Like PokeCollab.com is all like hype. Like if you want to be away from the toxic, like negative, like elitist, check out PokeCollab.com. We're just here to have fun and be friends and like support each other and having fun with this hobby. So that's all just like a plug. Like check out our website, check out PokeCollab.com. And we'd love to have you there. Additionally, well, actually, that's all I had for the intro. Anything else you want to throw
Well,
in?
well, yeah. I mean, that we're also in the same boat. So don't think like we had like a ton of cards that we're gonna be ripping like on an episode. Like we're all in the same boat. Like like for instance, today my wife just was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to GameStop. I'm gonna check see what they have." And I'm like, I was like, "Why? There's really nothing." But she's like, "No, I'm right here." So I'm like, "Okay, go ahead, see." Because I also I'm a GameStop Pro member too. So if they had one, I would have got a free pack because I haven't used my because I haven't gone to GameStop. I have my free by $5 credit,
Hmm.
so I would have got a free pack. But she went in there and yeah, there's nothing. Like they even have a limit on packs now that you can only get. We're thinking that she meant $5 limit on packs,
Okay.
and then like any box things, any box items, or like whatever is out that day, out for Pokemon is like two. They're now limiting two per customer.
And even then,
And
they're
she,
still out.
yeah, she said we had packs in this morning, and by this afternoon we're already sold out.
That's wild.
Yeah, so we're in the same boat. I mean, if you're in the kind of the negativity light of scalpers, we're also in that kind of. We don't support scalpers.
No. And so, like I've also had to learn by making mistakes too. Like I made a video on my other channel, Block and Pixel, where I intentionally bought a fake booster box on AliExpress of 151. And one of the comments opened my eyes and they were like, dude, you know that they don't like because my video was to show how you could tell something was fake.
Yeah.
And they also like it was brought to my attention that this is that 151, similar to prismatic evolutions, those are called special sets. Special sets don't get pre-releases, and also special sets they don't sell them in booster boxes and they don't sell them as single packs. So like I was unaware of that at the time. So it was kind of silly that I was doing like how to tell a 151 booster box is fake because there are no such thing as 151 booster boxes. So any 151 booster box is going to be fake. The information still is valid. Like the tells are still valid that I posted in that video, but like I didn't know. So again, like if you're a dad or like a parent or a kid and somebody's like, "Hey, yeah, I have a booster box of prismatic evolutions," like I now know that of course it's fake because there is no such thing as a prismatic evolutions booster box. But had you asked me that 6 months ago, I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah. So it's like we're
Yeah.
all at different like learning levels. And everyone doesn't just know everything. Like, and so everybody on Reddit's just like, you should know. Like, you should
It's
just
like, wait,
know.
what? Yeah,
Like we're all walking encyclopedias of Pokemon. So yeah, that just really frustrated me, and I just wanted to bring it out. Actually,
yeah.
I did think of one more thing before we move on. Tell me about your shirt.
So we were at the Arnold a couple weeks ago,
So
and
what is the Arnold?
so the Arnold is where Arnold Schwarzenegger has his own bodybuilding competition here in Columbus, Ohio. Well, not here, but in Ohio, in Columbus, Ohio. And so a lot it's actually like one of the biggest athletic or athlete competition. Um
I think
it's
they
actually
call it
bigger than the it's actually bigger than the Olympics.
I
Yeah.
think they call it a festival, don't they? Isn't it
Festival,
like a
right.
sports fest? Yeah.
Yes. So actually, yeah, there are more participants. Fitness, it's a fitness expo. So plus there's also a fitness expo. So the two combined is just it's just a huge weekend of nonstop like powerlifting, bodybuilding, strongman. So there's a booth there that I can't the name of them is escaping me. Um
Wait,
comic
you got
comic
to show us the
something.
bottom.
Flex Comics.
Okay.
So this is called
Swallow.
Swolemander.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's they had this, they had Squirtle, they had Venusaur, Gengar, um they had others that were pretty cool. But the one I got, I think I wore it on the show. I'll probably have to wear it again. Is the Charizard deadlifting. And so that was the same it's the same store that was there. So
Okay.
I saw this one. I'm like, oh, I gotta complete this one. So Swolemander.
You got the
Yep.
Charizard last year?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Was this the
It
first
does
time Kayla went with you?
last year, yeah.
Oh, last year was the first time. Okay,
Last
so
year was
she's
the first
been
time.
there before. Okay,
Yeah. Hmm.
got it.
Yeah. So it was fun. And so yeah, they had a lot of Pokemon stuff. Actually got a I was able to obtain a Pokemon patch of Squirtle
Whoa.
squatting.
Is it like an iron-on or?
No, it's Velcro.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like
So
Velcro
just
patches.
dude, they're awesome.
Yeah,
So last
nice.
year I bought two pood, which is like a they're like CrossFit backpack,
Yeah.
and they have like a slot in the bottom of the backpack where you can put Velcro patches.
Okay.
And so I'm like, this is sweet. So
What
I got
was the
Squirtle.
brand of the bag?
Two pood,
How do you spell that?
two with the number two, and then pood, Pood, two pood,
So like number two, like dropping a
like two,
deuce.
like he's two pood. I thought about the name. I was like, oh, two pood. That's funny. But now that you say it, it's like, oh,
Yeah,
you getting two pood.
that's funny.
Yeah, they were there
Well,
again this year, but yeah,
very cool. And what was who was the booth? What was their name?
um, it was called Flex Comics.
Flex Comics. Okay.
Flex Comics.
So check
Flex
them out.
Comics. Yeah, they had a lot of Dungeons and Dragons
Okay.
this year, but there was also like another. They had two booths, which was pretty surprising to me. And the other one that they had was more Pokemon related.
I'm Googling this right now.
Or Pokemon, they call them Pokemon.
Okay, so their patches are online.
Yeah.
Okay, they do all sorts of stuff.
Oh yeah, all sorts.
Yeah.
But more of the Pokemon was catching my eye.
Yeah. Yeah, they got like anime stuff, comic
Yeah.
stuff. Okay.
Yep. There's also there's a lot of anime. A lot of the powerlifting and bodybuilding are into the anime.
Yeah.
So there's a new company that just like went all out, bro. They went more than the animal cage. Like they had sand and like palm trees. They had a Lamborghini. They're called Young LA. And these dudes, they were balling out, man. They balling out. And they
That's
had
wild.
yeah, that was so they had the whole like East End was all
Okay.
them. Like they had that whole thing, that whole section.
That's crazy.
Yeah. They were like and they had a full on gym like in the middle
Yeah.
where like then they had as soon as you come up to the booth, though they're like section, they had two palm trees and then they had like a rope thing where you got to go up and then you ring the bell and then like two ropes so you can battle each other
Okay.
to climb up who can do it faster. And then they had like a full on like gym where like they would do competitions and stuff in there. And then they had like their booth and they had like a bar and they had all this stuff. Like they had
Okay.
a DJ going. So yeah, it was
I'm
pretty
looking I'm looking on
it
their
was
site right now.
yeah, we bought some stuff from them.
Okay.
They had I can't remember what anime they were using. But one of the guys, one of the drawings looked like Skarmory.
Okay.
It was a Pokemon. It looked like a Pokemon, but I think it was oh man, I'm trying to think. It's another famous anime cartoon.
Okay.
Oh, it was Yu-Gi-Oh? Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay.
So they focused on Yu-Gi-Oh. But yeah, it was nice. It was awesome. So if you guys are into that, check them out, Young LA, and also to Flex Comics if you want to find merch like this.
Good deal. Thanks,
Yeah.
Ivan. Thanks for the
Yep.
knowledge.
Yeah, bro.
Excellent. Well, let's move into our main topics here. The first one being TCG Pocket on multiple devices. And this is gonna, I mean, we'll probably just fly through this, but there's a specific reason I wanted to bring this up. And it all has to do with using the right words. And I'll explain. So here, I'm gonna share my screen. Can you see that, Ivan?
Yes.
Okay, so I just got a new phone and I went through the process of setting it up. I'm an Android guy. And this is actually my wife's phone, and I was setting up her Pokemon TCG Pocket account. Now, when you open up Pokemon TCG Pocket on a new device, either it's a new phone, a tablet, a device that you haven't played TCG Pocket on yet. This is the screen that comes up when you like go to start the game. And if you read it, it says transfer save data. Choose an account you'd like to transfer data from. And like the reason I'm a very black and white kind of guy. Like I'm a very literal person. So when I see the word transfer, that tells me that my data is transferring from one thing to another. And
Mhm.
when something is transferred, it's no longer available on the original. It's only on the thing you transferred it to. That's what a transfer is. It's, a moving of a thing from here to there, and it doesn't exist in both places. Well, that's not what they mean. So this window, it doesn't actually transfer. It actually lets you log in on a additional device. So here I was afraid that you couldn't use TCG Pocket on more than one device because I thought it was going to transfer it. So this is kind of just like a public service announcement. It's not actually transferring it. It's letting you log in to a secondary or tertiary or whatever. Like you could probably, I don't know how many devices you can log into, but I know you can definitely log into two at the same time.
Yeah.
Now, so my wife and I, we both tie our TCG Pocket data to our Nintendo account. Obviously, on Android, you can also do it with your Google account. Ivan, do you know if on iPhone, can you tie it to your Apple ID?
Mm, I don't. That's a good question.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think I only had the option of what you see there, Google or Nintendo.
Oh,
I
that's
didn't see
interesting.
anything. Yeah, I
Okay.
didn't see it. At least that's what at least that's what I think.
Okay. Now,
Um,
there
yeah.
is one more piece of information to this puzzle. So, yes, you can have your TCG Pocket account and data on multiple devices. However, if you go to, let's say you have TCG Pocket open on one device and then you start playing on another, I want to show you the screen. There is an error screen. This is the error that pops up on the first device. It says detected a login on another device, ending the game. So like they have a protection in place to prevent you from like duplicating things or from from overriding something from on one device to the other. So you can't actually like play it on two devices at the same time, but you can have your account on more than one device. So that's just something that I didn't realize because again, I just take things so literally. So like the language that they use made me think that this wasn't going to work that way. And let me and while we're on this topic, let me show you another reason why I thought this way. And here's another inconsistency problem. Now Ivan and I we were playing Pokemon Sleep. We haven't played it in a while, but I still wanted my data moved to my new phone. Now let me show you this. So here's the screenshots from Pokemon Sleep. Okay, hold on. Let me switch it. Okay, here we go. So this is on the new phone. It says transfer existing save data. Choose a transfer method. Note that once you start transferring your saved data, you'll no longer be able to access it on the device it came from. So they're using the same word of transfer, but for Pokemon Sleep, this is a true transfer. Once you do this transfer, you can no longer play it on the device that it was originally on. So they're using the same word, but it's a different thing entirely. TCG Pocket, you can have your account on more than one device. Pokemon Sleep, nope. You can only have your account and data on a single device. And this is a true transfer. If you do this, it no longer works on the device you transferred from. Um, so you can see this is after it was complete. It says this account's saved data has been transferred to another device. Please play on the device your saved data was transferred to. And then one more screenshot. Where'd it go? Here it is. And then this is on the original device after I did the transfer. It says an error has occurred. You'll now be returned to the title screen. We apologize for the inconvenience. So yeah, I don't know why they use that word transfer for
Yeah.
Pokemon TCG Pocket. Let me think of what word would you use? They should
Link.
just say, do you want to log in to your TCG Pocket account? Like it's
Yeah.
not a transfer.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. This is the type of stuff that grinds my gears. Maybe it's just fun to see me get irritated about something that's not that serious, um, but yeah, that's it. That's kind of all I wanted to tell about that one. Any questions on my experience with it?
No, and I'm just laughing because it's like like you literally could have like a law case there
Oh,
because like
really?
because yeah, I mean
So
if you technically lost your data because you
yeah,
thought like everything was going to be transferred over, like you could literally be like that's like a lawsuit almost because it's like, well, you told us one thing, but it was another, like it didn't complete what you told me it was going to do, or you're under the fact of like, well, you're telling me that I'm saving my data, like my data is gonna be like you just said, like it's though it's worded horribly that like anybody could be like, well, okay, that's kind of weird, but I don't know. For me, it should have been maybe link your account,
yeah, it's a good word.
um, switch your account.
Or
Well,
yeah,
no,
well,
no,
no, that wouldn't work for TCG Pocket. That would work for Pokemon Sleep, but the word transfer for Pokemon Sleep does work. That is a good word for sleep.
yeah,
But
because
it's
you're not using it anymore on that device,
yeah.
right?
So
Yeah,
that word makes sense for sleep. I like the word you picked. I like link
link
your TCG Pocket account to this device.
or just sign into your account, like
Yeah,
it just sign in.
yeah,
Because
exactly.
I think TCG Live was like that. I think it said sign into your account.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know what they're thinking using the word transfer.
Yeah.
Real quick, just to give you guys some background on Ivan. So Ivan works around lawyers quite a bit, and he witnesses a lot of depositions. So like what's funny is I didn't even think about this. Like me being such a literal word, like um I can't think of a word, but you know, I'm like so literal. So it's fun that you're here listening to this as somebody who has to deal with words meaning the
Yeah.
difference of winning or losing a lawsuit.
Yeah. No, it's so true. I mean, like that's how they are. Like that's lawyer language. Like you're literally telling me that you're transferring my data to another device that I have no idea if I'm going to have access to. Like I don't know if I want to transfer my data because that means that I'm not going to have it anymore. Are you telling me that I'm not going to have it anymore? Because yeah, because it's
Yeah,
literally saying that. It's like transfer your saved data.
right.
Like,
So I could go to the Pokemon company with a lawyer and be like, "Hey, Pokemon company, You told me that you were transferring my data, but
Yeah.
I'm still able to access my data on both devices. This is false.
Yeah,
I shouldn't be able to access this data on my old device anymore. You lied. Now pay
exactly.
up.
False
Um,
advertisement.
so I don't know. That's all I have on that. I just wanted people to know, don't be afraid to log in to TCG Pocket on an additional device. It will work. You can play on multiple devices.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm glad I had that realization.
Yeah, and plus too, like when I see the Nintendo, for me, my saving thing was that I saw the Nintendo like account. So then I just clicked on it and I didn't even think of like that wasn't like I didn't put too much in thought into it.
Yeah.
But then I was just able to get in right away. So I'm like, oh,
Okay.
okay.
Cool.
But yeah, but no, good to know.
Yeah, this is more so for the paranoid of us. Okay.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for letting me go on that rant. Um, Next let's talk about Pokemon Go. I'll let Ivan lead this discussion.
Yeah, so this was on yeah, like literally yesterday was the purchase of Pokemon Go, which was I don't know. Now I don't really play Pokemon Go, so for all your listeners too, that are listen for our listeners, like if you have been playing Pokemon Go, it almost also when I was just looking up on the official website, didn't seem like there was any like thing leading up to Pokemon Go will be going through a transfer. I mean, of course, they're probably not going to tell you that, but I mean, it almost seems like nothing skips a beat. Like there's still a raid this weekend. There's still a lot going on
Hmm.
with Pokemon Go. Like so I think it's just like a fluid transfer. Um I think it's not gonna the company that bought it is from Saudi Arabia, right? Let me see
Hmm.
here. Yep. They're called um Scopely.
I don't know if it's
I think it's called
Scopely or
Scopely.
Scopely. Yeah, I don't know how it's pronounced.
Scopely. Yeah, but
Now,
it was so.
that company, that's actually a US based company, but that
Yeah,
US based company is owned by a Saudi Arabian company.
yeah.
So what's the Saudi company name? Let's find it. Hold on. So Scopely is the American company that technically it was sold to. Um,
Yeah.
but it's kind of like um, but Scopely is or Scopely, however you pronounce it, they are owned by Saudi Arabian company Savvy Games Group.
Savvy Games Group. Yeah,
Yeah.
which they bought Scopely in 4.9 billion in 2023.
Okay. So even though technically Pokemon Go was bought by an American company in California, that company is owned by a Saudi Arabian company. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like so they're not really hiding anything. Everyone knows this. It's just kind of like I don't know.
What's yeah, it's kind of public.
Yeah.
What's interesting, the New York Times released a statement saying that the Saudi great government has said it will invest $38 billion in video games by 2030 through the Public Investment Fund. So they're really putting a lot of interest in like resources in the video game system. It's like the fund manages almost $1 trillion in assets and invests in a wide range of industries from real estate and artificial intelligence to sports and entertainment with a declared mission to diversify Saudi Arabia's economy beyond fossil fuels. Some critics have described Saudi Arabia's investments in sports and video games as an attempt to polish the country's reputation, especially on human rights. So
Okay.
it's going for a good cause, I guess. I mean, they're trying to brighten the horizons, and we know that Saudi Arabia. If this is what I'm thinking, Saudi Arabia, which is like Dubai, I'm assuming,
I
or no?
honestly, dude, I really don't know much about Saudi Arabia. Let me see where it is.
Like I'm wondering if they have. I might be completely off, but
Okay, Saudi Arabia is a country in West Asia. It's located in the center of the Middle East. It covers the bulk of the Arabian Peninsula, making it the fifth largest country in Asia, the
Mhm.
largest in the Middle East, and the 12th largest country in the world.
Okay, so it has nothing to do with Dubai. Okay, I was thinking maybe they had some ties that because you know
I mean,
that Dubai is one of the
I'm
wealthiest
sure there's
countries.
relations, but I don't
Yeah,
know. Yeah, I
well,
don't have much knowledge on Saudi Arabia. And
yeah,
because of that, I don't have any personal opinions or feelings. Clearly their marketing is good. They know how to make it sound like a good thing that they
yeah,
bought this asset from Niantic.
yeah.
Um, I have a
I would.
question.
Uh-huh.
So I'm looking at Scopely and the products that are under their umbrella. Um, and I'm curious if you've heard of any of the other games that they own. There's Star Trek Fleet Command, Yahtzee with Buddies, Looney Tunes World of Mayhem, Marvel Strike Force, Scrabble Go, Monopoly Go, Stumble Guys. So like I have no experience with any of the stuff. Um, I'm not a mobile gamer, and like you, Ivan, I've never played Pokemon Go. It just never it wasn't on my radar.
Right.
Like
No.
I remember being in Washington D.C. one year just on a vacation and seeing everyone like going around with their phones and like their battery backups and like catching Pokemon and like that was cool and stuff. But like I wasn't back into Pokemon at that point and it I don't know, it just
It's
what it yeah, again, it was off my radar.
yeah, same. And I think it was more so of like even though it was more of being a trainer because you're actually going out and actually seeing like live Pokemon that are like on your device, yeah, but like you're actually as if the Pokemon was there. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, like I never really got into, going around and trying to find some Pokemon. I know that some I want to say some of our friends were actually like friends that we knew were into it or something. I'm trying
Yeah,
to
I
think of
mean,
who though. Yeah,
I
but
s- I know that some of our friends are still into it to this day.
yeah.
But yeah, I still don't have any interest in
No, I don't. I don't either.
like
Which is funny
between
because I think it's the most closest to being a Pokemon
yeah,
trainer.
but like at the same time, part of the appeal to the world of Pokemon is that it's not our world.
Hmm.
You know, like
Yeah,
it's not our universe. It's not our world. It's not our planet. Like you're throwing yourself into fiction. Like I do think it's cool that they incorporated like Pokemon into reality, but like I think there's part of the separation of the Pokemon universe from ours that makes it appealing to,
yeah,
like the fantasy elements of it. I mean,
yeah,
that's why fantasy is such a huge genre that people love because it's fantastical. It's not our realm, like
yeah,
it's the whole point.
yeah. I agree. It yeah, I think you nailed the head of the nail. What? You
No, I love
you
it.
hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Spanish was trying to come out there. But um yeah, I have nothing else after that one. That was good.
No, yeah.
I mean, the
I was,
fantasy is what keeps us it keeps us into it,
yeah,
intuitive to what's happening in the Pokemon world because, you know, it's what we know and it's what we want to be included in.
right. And that's why I love the video games. Like that's why I loved
Yeah,
Legends Arceus and Scarlet Violet because like I'm exploring. And what's cool about the fantasy aspect of it, since it's not a real world, it can scale. So like the Scarlet Violet world is very small, relatively speaking. So like you can traverse it and explore it like from end to end. And like it's big enough that it keeps you interested and like occupied with searching for Pokemon and stuff, but it's not so big that like you get lost in it. Um, so I think the scope of the worlds that Pokemon creates in their video games are like just right. which is
Yeah,
probably part of why they've done so well. And then
I agree with that.
between the games, like between the video games and the trading card game and TCG Pocket, like I mentioned in last episode, if I'm going to add anything, it will be Unite at this point. Not Go,
Yeah,
you know.
awesome. And
So
I'm more open to you for joining us on Unite Org.
no, I need to one of these days. But regarding this acquisition, so Scopely bought it wasn't just Pokemon Go, it was also Pikmin Bloom and Monster Hunter Now.
Mm,
And it sound like from the reports we read, it sounds like Scopely bought Niantic's gaming portion of the company. So Niantic is still going to exist as its own company, but they're no longer going to be doing video games. So Scopely bought all of the video game part of Niantic.
okay.
Now, so obviously, like this was just yesterday or 2 days ago or whatever. So we don't have any idea what's going to change in Pokemon Go. And one of the head honchos of Pokemon Go said, um, expect change. There's always been change. Pokemon Go has always been an evolving, changing, product. So expect change. But like, it sounded like he was like, we're not going anywhere. Like, it's still going to be Pokemon Go. But the thing is that Saudi Arabian company, they're why would they dump $30 billion over the course of the next 5 years into gaming? Right? Why would they do this?
Yeah.
And we know the answer, and that's to make money. So this company is very good at making money. So the only reason they would buy Pokemon Go and this Niantic gaming, uh, the gaming portion of Niantic, the only reason they would spend 3.5 billion on it is because they're going to make sure that they make more than 3.5 billion on these products, which means that they're going to figure out a way to make more money than those products are already making.
Yeah.
Um, so I saw on Reddit people saying that like once Marvel Strike Force was bought by Scopely, like there was definitely more pay to win stuff added into the game. So I think that's what people are mostly concerned about. Like how much more are they going to monetize Pokemon Go? How much more are they going to make it pay to win? Um,
Yeah.
which you
There,
and I can't
just real
speak
quick.
to. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there just real quick. A lot of people that have played Monopoly Go, they're saying the same thing. Like, as soon as they acquired or whoever bought Monopoly Go, like they did the exact same thing. Like they and their hopes. The article on IGN that I see right now, they're saying that yeah, nothing's changing. Just the same team, same everybody that's in Pokemon Go. It's just going to be under a new name,
Yeah,
but we'll see how much that, like you said, like who's going to put that much money into something and not make changes? Of course, they're going to make changes.
right.
Yeah.
Um, I have a little bit of a perspective on this. So, and I don't want to get into anything confidential, but the company that I work for has been sold and bought numerous times over the past couple decades. And since I've worked for them, they've been sold. Um, and like, so I work for um, like an engineering department of a company for public safety. And we were purchased. And when we were purchased, the old company still existed, but they just kept everything that wasn't public safety and they sold the entire public safety portion. So the new company that owns us, like they kept us who we are. All of the employees stayed, the way we operate, continued to be the way we operate. But like you can tell that the culture of the ownership changes the way that decisions are made and then slowly start to trickle down into the way that we operate. So like I can see that now that Scopely owns these products, Pokemon Go, it's probably going to take a little time, but in time we're going to start to see the culture of Scopely, the culture of this Saudi Arabian company filter in, and it seems like the culture of that company is make money, return on investment. So I think that what people are saying online, their fears are probably going to come true. Um, and we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, it might not be for a month, 6 months, but um, we'll pay attention. We'll keep our finger on the pulse. You won't hear from us personally about it because I'm not going to get into it. Are you?
No,
Okay.
yeah, we're not gonna. You know, we'll see some if there are some of the big changes. Maybe we'll definitely let everyone know. But for the most part, like yeah, I don't think I'll be getting into this. But it is true, Oren. I mean, with those that do play it, I mean, we can kind of sense how you're feeling because imagine if like that's like saying TCG Live, like everybody plays TCG Live, and all of a sudden like some other company out of the United States buys TCG Live, and then all of a sudden like, hey, you're not getting free packs anymore. Now you got to like pay, and it's like, we all will be like, what? Yeah. So
Yeah,
I guess the uproar um of what's about to come, it's very understandable
that's
because
a
I
good
think
point.
we all would be feeling.
That's a very good point, Ivan. If TCG Live were to change, if they were to pull the rug out from underneath us, like
Jeez,
I think
oh
I
my
think it would fall
gosh,
apart. I don't think anybody would play it anymore.
that would be a true sad day. I think that would be, and then like, bro, that would be like that's a trickling effect because then that means we can't get Pokemon live, physical
It,
cards anyway. So, oh my goodness, that would be ridiculous.
hopefully that
That'd be,
never happens.
I know.
Yeah.
I hope we're not foreseeing something here.
I don't think
Yeah.
so. I don't think TCG Live's going anywhere.
I mean, it's been around for even before I even knew because I think you even said it was around
Yeah,
way back when.
it was different. It was called TCG Online, I
Yeah.
believe. So TCG Live came out 2023
Hmm.
and it was a successor to TCG Online. And like a lot of stuff did transfer over. Not everything, but like if you had a bunch of cards in TCG Online, those came over. But it technically is a different game, but it replaced online. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, like this as a product has been around though for like TCG Online was around for at least 10 years, maybe 15
Okay.
years. Yeah.
Whoa.
So TCG Online, TCG Live have been around for a long time.
Okay.
I don't think they're
Because
going
that,
anywhere.
yeah, because I only started once we started getting into Scarlet Violet is when I
Yeah.
started noticing the cards, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this is new.
Yeah. So
And,
you've only ever known TCG Live.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I heard of like what yeah, then you told me like, oh, it's changing or they made it new, and I'm like, oh wow, this is amazing. Like I almost was like, why even get physical cards? But I still got
Yeah.
I still got suckered in.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we're human.
Yeah.
We like the tangible.
Yep.
Okay. Well, if you
Cool.
have any comments about the Pokemon Go sale, let us know what your thoughts are in the comments below. We're curious to hear what you have to say. Now, I'm excited about this next one because like this was like the first time I'm really excited about this actually. This is the first time that we talked about something on the show and then like we had to wait a long period of time and now it's here. Like that's probably happened before on the show, but like this for some reason this just felt like substantial. And
Yeah.
that is these.
Ooh yeah.
So let me show these off one at a time.
Yes.
Now, in 2024, there was the illustration contest, and basically fans submit their own artwork into the contest, and then the winner's artwork actually gets produced, manufactured as real cards, as promos. So they just popped into stores last week, I believe.
Mm.
And I was able to get them at Best Buy. And Best Buy is so funny. So the Best Buy I went to, they didn't have any Pokemon cards for sale, but they said I had to buy $15 worth of stuff, like Pokemon card stuff, to get the promos. And I'm like, well, you don't have any Pokemon stuff.
Yeah, what?
And they're like, well, you could buy like card accessories. And I'm like, okay. But they didn't have anything I wanted. And I was buying other stuff. Like I was there to buy a keyboard and mouse. So I spent like $40 on the keyboard and mouse. I'm like, well, can you like I'm spending more than $15 and you don't have any cards. Can I please have the promos? And she's like, no. I'm like, okay,
What?
yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'll buy this Ultra Pro like sleeves and top loaders. Can I have it then? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, just please, if you're gonna return that Ultra Pro stuff, wait until tomorrow. I'm like, okay. So I bought the Ultra Pro stuff with my keyboard and mouse, and she gave me the promos. So just for your reference, this is the SKU, the card that tells you like the barcode and stuff. So it's
Okay.
the promo card, and it's having a hard time focusing.
Yeah.
Feraligatr, Pikachu, Toxtricity EX, and then so let me show you these cards. So you'll remember these from when we talked about it 5, 6 months ago. Here's
Yeah.
our
So Orange, yeah, Orange,
Feraligatr.
just
Yeah.
real quick, Orange. That was episode 5. If
Oh,
you
you
guys
found
want to
it?
listen. Yeah, episode 5.
Nice.
Yep.
So episode 5. So one of our earlier episodes is when we talked about this. My camera is having a weird time focusing. There we
I
go.
remember that one. I think we that was one of our favorites.
Yeah, this card is very cool. Like the
Very original
design, the
card.
art style, it looks like it's like translucent cutout paper almost like stacked on top of each other. Like if you look at the fin on the tail, it looks
Yeah.
like it's a translucent cutout of like a pink piece of paper or a red piece of paper on top of the Feraligatr like tail shape. You see what I mean? It looks like it's stacked.
Yeah.
Like it's very cool.
That's cool.
So there's that one. And then here's our Pikachu. People loved this one because of the way,
That one was one of our favorites as well.
yeah, just the behavior of the Pikachu is funny. Because we don't really see this is a fairly realistic style. And
Yeah.
we don't really see too many realistic style like artwork on cards.
Yeah.
So that's a cool one.
That's
And
cool.
then here's our Toxtricity. And this is the one
Oh,
where he's
sweet.
got the lightning bolt and he's playing it like a guitar.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, those were awesome.
Did you find them anywhere, Ivan?
I didn't get a chance to,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
I,
here's a pack. These are for you.
hey, thanks, Warren.
Yeah,
Sweet.
I went to another Best Buy and I was like, do you have the promos? And it was a younger girl. And she's like, yeah, let me go get you one. And she just hands it to me. She's like, you don't have to buy anything. Like, here, you can just have it. And
Oh,
I'm like, the difference in generations, because the other Best Buy, it was a old like a lady older than me. And then at this Best Buy, it was a girl younger than me. And she just like was here, have it. And the older lady was like, no, you gotta buy stuff. I don't know.
the
And then
laziness too, Warren. That might have been laziness too.
maybe. I don't know.
Because
Um,
when we went to because when we went to the Best Buy for the Eevee, I think we went to one and we just went like we just went to the front of the like kind of went to the front of the line. Hey, you got any Pokemon promos? Yeah, hold on, just give me a minute. Grabbed a summon and there you go. Like we didn't have to buy anything either. It's
that's
just
awesome.
easy. Yeah.
That's how I like that.
Well, thanks, Warren. Thanks for the
Yeah, no, you got it.
review.
Yeah, I was since I was able to get a second one, I'm like, I have to give these to Ivan because of the
Yay.
show. So no, I'm glad I was able to snag you the set. The first
Yes.
Best Buy also gave me this. I haven't used it yet. I did not get two of these, Ivan. Sorry. So I'm gonna use this one
Cool.
with
Yeah, no problem. What
flying
it
Paratype Eevee for
Ooh.
Scarlet Violet.
Okay.
So if you happen to go to Best Buy, if you guys get to go up there to look for some promos, see if you can get this Pokemon Day thing too, for
Cool.
your Scarlet Violet game.
So that gives you that Terra.
Yeah, in game,
Okay.
the EV
Okay.
Terra flying type. Yeah,
Interesting. Ooh. That's super cool.
Okay, well,
Awesome.
let us know if you got the illustration promos in the comments. Let us know which of the three is your favorite. If I were to choose, so the I like what's happening in the Toxtricity one the most, but I like the art style of the Feraligatr the most. So I'm gonna have to go
Yeah.
with the Feraligatr.
Yeah. I think I'll go with the Pikachu. I think it's more of I think even with that artist has said that it gave like a puppy type of feel for Pikachu. And
Yeah,
I mean
more like a like an actual animal, like a pet.
yeah. So and like you how who if you look at the both, like my little and then your card, like
Yeah,
it's just so cute.
yeah, excellent. Yeah, so let us know what you think is your favorite in the comments.
Yeah.
Now, Ivan, please
Yes.
talk to us about PokeTrade. So, and let me just preface this for you guys. If you didn't watch the past two episodes where we just briefly mentioned it, there is an app on both iPhone and Android. The app is called PokeTrade, all one word. I'll show you it on my phone. This is what the icon looks like.
Hmm.
PokeTrade.
Hmm.
And Tide Technologies is the developer. So we've been messing with this app. And Ivan, tell us about your experience.
Yeah. So again, it links. Okay, so yeah, you're not transferring data. You're actually linking your account. And then you can then it doesn't well actually no, I take that back. You just create an account and then you open up your account on TCG Pocket, Pokemon Pocket. And then you have to physically go into the app and like click on the cards that you own and then click on the cards that you're willing to trade. And I know in the past two episodes we have mentioned that you can't just trade one card. You have to have a at most two cards. Or at least two cards, I'm sorry. Always. At least two cards so that you can continue to have one in your inventory. They also have to be at the same rarity. So you can only have a three diamond with a three diamond, a four diamond with a four diamond. No, it's like it's not four diamond. Yeah, it's four diamond.
Hmm.
So or just basic with basic and stuff like that. So and you can trade from I think now all of them are open, I want to say. I think you can start trading even with no. Okay, so no. Confirmation from my wife. So you cannot start trading with the new one that's out right now, which
Okay,
is with
so
Arceus.
okay, uh,
You
uh,
can't trade that one,
okay,
which is Triumphant Light. You can only trade
Space
from
Time
Space Time
Smackdown.
SmackDown down to Apex.
Okay,
Um, yeah, that's the only thing you
so
can trade.
just to clarify real quick, does PokeTrade in any way connect to my Nintendo account?
No.
Okay. So how do I get a card? Like I open up PokeTrade, I make a list of the cards that I'm willing to trade. I make a list of the cards that I want. Then what happens?
People then you can either go and look for your card that you're looking for, or people will actually talk to you. To be honest, like my wife and I, when as soon as we started this, like people have come to us. So I have reached out to a couple people, maybe like two or three, but they didn't really have what I wanted. So yes, you have to go in and then you search for what you're looking for. But a word of caution, you have to be able to switch to your card language to English because I now have one French and one Spanish,
Wait,
which
what do you
I
mean?
didn't realize until I'm like, oh, this person is, and I was actually talking to her or him or her in Spanish. So, and I thought it was English. I thought it was an English card. So I now have cards in different languages, but I also want in English. So now I'm looking for those in English.
So wait, how does that work? So the game, even though you're in the United States,
Yes,
it let you trade an English card for a Spanish card,
correct.
and it
I'll
shows up
show you.
as Spanish in the app.
Yeah. So
Can
here,
can you use it in your deck?
I don't know. So this executor is
Yeah.
in, I think it's in either Portuguese or Spanish. Let me see. It says Tropical Colpo. Lancia una moneta si es que esta cuesta ataco inflige. This is Italian.
Oh,
This was Italian.
okay.
And
Huh.
then and if you look at the globe up at the top, see this right here?
Yeah. Yeah.
It says it is in,
Yeah. ITA.
yeah,
Okay.
Italian. Let me see. Yeah, so yeah, it is interesting, Orin, that it lets me have it. I was hoping that it's gonna
Like automatically convert to English,
to English, but
but
it
it
didn't.
doesn't.
No.
Okay. So make
And
sure that if you want English, that the
look,
person has listed an English card.
correct. There was another one. Hold on,
That's weird.
let me look at my history because I had one. Let me see here. History. Okay, so my Articuno EX. Let me look at that up.
Okay.
That one's in Spanish. So yeah, be careful. So you could see the globe again.
Yeah.
Oop, but you can see it's
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Spanish. So they're in Spanish.
Okay.
So
So do us a
yeah, be
favor.
careful.
Can
Uh-huh.
you go to the deck creation menu? Can you see if it'll let you add that Articuno with English cards like in the same
Ooh,
deck and like save
yeah.
it?
Ooh, let me see. Okay, so I have a water deck. So here I have a water blast. So I am gonna edit. I'm gonna take out,
That's really interesting.
yeah, I'm gonna take out a Blastoise and I'm gonna add an Articuno. Yeah,
It
yeah,
will.
it let me. Let me see. Hold on.
Interesting.
Oh, no, Orin. Oh yeah, there it is. Yep. So sorry. Yeah, it let me have it in my deck.
And it'll let you save the deck.
Yeah, it's saved. So yeah, it does.
That's
Interesting.
interesting.
Oh, wait a minute, Orin. It transferred it to English.
Wait, what?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So in the thumbnail now it's
Oh,
English?
come on. Yeah.
That is really bizarre.
Oh, come on. There you go.
Yeah. Okay, I see. Icewing and
Now
Blizzard.
it's in English.
And you definitely don't have an English
Wow.
version of that card?
What'd you say?
You definitely don't have an English version of that card?
No, that's only English one I have.
That is so weird.
That is weird.
But I'll make you bet if you go back and look at your collection, it's going to show that it's Spanish.
Let me go back.
Okay.
Yep, it's in Spanish.
Okay.
So interesting. I mean, I guess it's like, do you want it? I don't know. I kind of want all my cards in English
Yeah,
because I'm in America, but even though I
right.
can read it in Spanish, but like the other one, I was totally off. I didn't know like that person was Italian or was trading me an
Okay.
Italian card. So be watchful of that. If you guys want to get into this, I think it's a spectacular tool. Oren, it's big props to you for telling it to us because we've actually completed a lot, not complete. Well, my wife has completed Mythical Islands. I'm still in the hunt. Um, to finish in like Apex, I have about seven, 6 or 7 cards left. But people have been, yeah, it's a great tool to use. Especially when you get down to like the EXs and there's like maybe 4 or 5 left that you need.
Yeah.
People are always training EXs.
Okay.
Excuse me, and it's always also the ones that are kind of like the ones that are common that are people are looking for.
Yeah.
So if you have like a lot of Arcanines, if you have a lot of what was another one? Charizards. If you have a lot of um
Like Machamp.
the champ,
That was the one I had the hardest time getting.
right?
Yeah.
Moltres. Moltres are also good. If you have a ton of Moltres, people will trade for Moltres. Um, it's for some reason the Ammonite and the Magneton, those two, people were going nuts for those. I don't know if it was like a recent release. I'm trying to think. I don't really know. Maybe there was a deck that was made for Magneton and Ammonite, but
Okay.
bro, people were constantly asking, "Well, I want this card. I want this card." I'm like, "Okay, well, then here, give me." I was able to get some good cards. I had a bunch of them, so. But yeah, check it out, PokeTrade. It is a lot. It is tedious because you got to go into both apps. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess that's why it's good that you can actually, if you want to, I could have went on my iPad now and look up what I need, and then PokeTrade just
That's a good point. Yeah,
offer up what I need.
if you have two devices, you could have PokeTrade on one device and
Yeah,
then TCG Pocket on the other device, and
yeah,
that'll make it much easier of a process. Um,
correct.
because so in PokeTrade, once you find somebody that has what you want and needs what you have, you can start chatting. Like there's a messaging built in to PokeTrade. So you
Yep.
start messaging each other, and then through messaging, you share your friend code, right?
Yes.
So you share your
Yeah.
friend code, then you become friends, and then once you're friends, one of you can initiate the trade, and then once the trade's finished, if you want, you can remain friends. But if you need more slots, you can just unfriend them
Yep.
afterwards.
Correct.
Yeah.
Let's just do like a brief. So you can get to your friend code up in PokeTrade.
Yeah.
There's your friend ID. You copy that, and then you're able to put it into a message here. Here, I'm just going to go with my next. Um, Let me just go into a completed trade. Okay, so here's just for instance a trade. Now on PokeTrade, this person was interested in my Ammonite. Oh, come
Yeah.
on. You guys see that? Okay.
Yeah. 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 Okay.
So then we kind of I don't think we went for for the trade, but he had already traded it. But there
Okay.
you can see kind of what our conversation, and then we just go ahead and just send your friend request or
Yeah.
yeah. And then on the trade, so once you get in, you have to go back to the Poke and then here under trade.
Yep.
Oh, I think it's right here, right? Yep. So the social hub, and then you go into trade, and then here you'll have either the person or you start to trade, and then you go ahead and just start trade,
Yep.
and then you look at the person who friended you. All these are the people that I friended through PokeTrade.
Okay.
So like this is what we talked about last episode that you're
Yep.
only allowed 99. And it's basically, yeah, just it's basically you trade with that person and then you're done. I mean, there's really no, I mean, unless they have stuff that you can look at what they, I don't even, you can't really look at what they have. That's one
Right.
bad thing.
Yeah. But
Um,
it will when you're doing the trade process in TCG Pocket, they will show you what card you're getting. So there's no way that somebody can scam you out of the
correct,
card. Um, TCG Pocket has made sure of that. So like there's nothing to worry about. You're going to get the card that TCG Pocket shows you you're going to get from them.
correct. Yeah, which is really, I haven't had any bogus uh things happen.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's been a great tool. Oh yeah, also too, they'll in the message conversation, they'll show you what they're offering if you click on their name. So yeah, you
Okay.
can click once you click on who you're talking to, you click on the trade. Like for instance, there'll be like a trade here. You click on that, and then
Mm-hmm.
it'll show you the person that their name because a lot of times, not a lot of times, sometimes the person that's on PokeTrade doesn't have the same name in
Yeah.
Pocket, but you'll get it. So
Yep.
okay, so in PokeTrade, it shows you what their sorry, I'm getting clarification here.
Okay.
But in PokeTrade, yeah, like you'll see a card that you're interested in,
Yeah.
and so you click on that,
Okay.
right? Their name on the top.
So that
Oh, okay, there you
name
go.
that name
Okay,
doesn't
so
necessarily that's not necessarily going to be their name in TCG Pocket.
correct,
Sometimes it
correct,
will be the same, depending on what they chose.
correct.
Okay.
Well, now I just learned that you can look for the stuff that they're willing to trade if you click on their name. So yeah,
Okay. Cool.
so you click on their name, and then it says listed for trade, and then their wish list. So this guy, you can see their what they have for trade, which I need right there. The Venusaur.
Hmm.
We got to also watch the languages because I think he's all English. Yeah, and
Okay.
then there's a wish list there too of what he's looking for. He's also looking for SIRs, which I pulled that one by the way. Actually, I pulled all those three.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it's wow, that's very helpful. So I was gonna say something else about PokeTrade and I can't remember. But um and now that the with like I know we mentioned this a couple episodes ago that Pocket has made it easier now to get trade tokens by completing missions. So I ran out of my missions, so I have to wait 12 more days to get more missions. But as you use Wonder Picks and as you like do battles and stuff like that, you will be able to get more trade tokens. So that's
Okay.
making
Cool.
but that is PokeTrade and I highly recommend it.
Excellent. We need to I need to spend some time on our site. I need to add that to our resources page.
Yeah, yeah,
So keep an eye out on Poké Collab on our resources page. I'll be adding that to our tools and resources page.
for
Uh,
sure.
okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think let me go back to our outline.
Hmm.
Yeah, that covers our show for today. So again, yeah, thanks everybody for watching. We were kind of blown away that we had so many views on our past episode 21. So yeah, if you're here again, please let us know what you like and what you'd like to continue hearing about from us, so that way we can deliver.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, please check out pokecollab.com. And once you're there, you can make a free account. It will always be free. And you can talk to us. It's a forum. So you could ditch Reddit and the toxic culture and join us for some positive Pokemon community stuff. And also the first 100 members will get an alpha badge just to kind of show the community that you were here first. And then also check out our merch site. So if you're on pokecollab.com, you'll see a link to our merch site at the top and on the sidebar. So please check us out on our merch site. All of the merch was designed by Ivan's wife. So major shout out to Kayla. Some awesome designs on our stuff there. And no, we appreciate you being here and letting Ivan and I have the opportunity to just catch up and talk Pokemon for a good hour each time that we're. It's not really a weekly show. It's kind of like we're gonna try to make it weekly. Like we
Yeah.
originally tried to make it weekly, but like this isn't how we make our living. This is just for fun.
Yeah.
So, but we'll try to get into a regular weekly thing. But it's usually every week, every other week. But we'll uh we'll keep doing this until I don't know, forever. No commitment.
Imagine like being 50 and we're still talking about Pokemon.
I mean, we're closer than you think.
Yeah, exactly. Very true.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll see. But
Yeah,
yeah, no, thank you so much for your support, for watching us. Please just comment anything below. We love
yeah,
hearing from you. And if you check out a pre-release next week for Journey Together, let us know how it went, either on the comments for this video or the comments for episode 21. Let us know how your pre-release went, and we are excited to hear about it.
yeah.
Anything else, Ivan? Where can
Awesome.
we find you?
You can find me on YouTube here, same channel. Where you find us on Poké Collab with Chard. And there I do some TCG live battles. I'm trying to keep that up too weekly with this show. Try to keep it, just kind of in line. I know we're a little more advanced here, but in episode 22 right now, but try to do it the best I can. So I'm on there, and then you can also check me out at Chard or Chard 216 on YouTube, and then Chard on TCG Player. I have my shop up there, so support me, please.
Excellent. And I have another YouTube channel. Actually, I have two other YouTube channels. Normally, I only talk about Block and Pixel, but I do Block and Pixel, and then I'm doing one called Bento Desk, which is just about like tech stuff. Um, and Block and Pixel, we also have a TCG player account that my wife runs. So we sell Pokemon cards on there, just singles, and she takes pictures of everything. So, yeah. So check us out on TCG Player. Now, Ivan, I recently saw that it looks like you can link to other YouTube channels
Hmm.
from a YouTube channel. So I'm gonna see if I can add Chart 216 and Block and Pixel. Like there's a section. So like if you're on the Poké Collab channel, like you can see other channels that are like linked channels. So I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to do that. So that way it's easier to find us.
Awesome, man. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, check us out.
Okay, cool. Well, Ivan, as always, it's been a pleasure being here with you, talking about
Yeah, you
Pokemon,
as well.
and I will see you on the next episode. And everybody watching, we appreciate you being here. We'll catch you next time.
See you guys.